Hey guys, it's Flix. If you're just jumping from the other video to this one, welcome back. If you guys are just joining me now, this is going to be my spoiler review for the movie Joker. So in my last review, I'm just going to start out by saying I gave it a 2 out of 10. That's pretty... Honestly, I feel like it's pretty gracious of me right now. This movie was high on itself. Now, not one of those... oh my gosh, look who we're talking about. Oh my gosh, you're going to fanboy-gasm because of it. No, it's that this movie, it takes the Joker and it doesn't really do anything with the Joker. It takes a man and makes him go, it takes an already mentally unstable individual and makes it worse, which... that's pretty terrible in and of itself. But then we fall into the territory of he's in the right, sort of. This movie, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, you know, if you don't really think about it too much. Guy has psychological problems, a lot of bad stuff happens to him, he kind of goes insane and starts a riot. There's a lot more to it than that. His delving into madness is very, very documented in this movie, and it is too much in my opinion. They take this movie and they shove it down your throat. Oh, look at all of this bad stuff that keeps happening to him. Oh, people keep being mean to him. Oh, feel bad for him because he's just being mistreated. And part of the beginning is people being very rude to somebody who has a mental disorder of some sort or another. But then we delve further into it, and to me, you lose the sympathy on him when he starts murdering people. Like, he kills 3 guys in a subway, and the thing to that is, it starts a revolution inside the city of, oh, you know, fuck the rich, we're gonna kill them, and, you know, the reason that these guys were killed is because they were elitists. No, they were killed because they picked on one dude. And don't get me wrong, they beat him. But kids beat him earlier in the movie too for his disorder. So neither of them are in the right. But you have people that I'm sure are going to be like, this is a great telling of the Joker. Because it's the city that was being mean to him and now he's being an ass back to him. And he overreacts to every situation with murder. He gets made fun of. Murder. He has an asshole of an employee. He has an asshole of a coworker he works with. Murder. A girl he was imagining was dating him. Murder. And it's ridiculous because it's got a cool, like, psychological what is real, what isn't, and that's fine. But you beat us with the tragedy stick so hard, and you're trying to make us empathize with someone that anyone that knows the character knows he's an unempathetic character. He could have the worst stuff happen to him in the world, and we're still not supposed to feel bad for him. He is a terrible human being, and that is what he's supposed to be. But if you change him into this whole... oh, well, he has his reasonings to do it. He has his reason why he laughs. He has his reason why he's crazy. He has his reason why he murders people. You can't do that. That's not how a movie works. That's... a superhero movie works sort of in that context because the person that the good guy is stopping, / most of the time killing nowadays, let's be honest, is because they are threatening the world, a city, an area, bunch of other individuals. These people don't just go, he was mean to me. You know, Iron Man doesn't go, oh, you know, this dude was mean to me, blast a hole in his face. He might blast him, he won't kill him. But this movie just takes that premise of escalation and just shoots it up ridiculously to a point where I can't empathize with the character whatsoever, and I shouldn't. But people are gonna. And that's what's wrong with this movie. I had some people with me. I actually had Pops. Pops watched this movie with me. He's not here because he was on a date while he was doing it. Probably not his wife. But he and his other person he was with really enjoyed the movie. And they loved the music in it too, which I hate movies that have, this is a period piece, so we get to use music from whatever from that time, just to stamp home the fact that this is a movie from that time. I like the movie does actually a pretty decent job of setting up the time period without needing that music. Like fashion, the show that they're watching is a kind of a callback to old 50s TV shows, 50s to, you know, they still exist now, but they're not in the kind of the same way. But like the late night shows, you know, the Cars, all that fun stuff. Like it was a period piece, and it didn't need to beat you over the head with the music to do it. Characters, honestly, only one of them was really any form of like built character. You have Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, who is the entire movie. You have a girl, you have his mom, who is there for exposition and not really much else. You have Thomas Wayne, which we all know how that's going to end if you know anything about Batman. We have a game show host played by Robert De Niro, and you barely get anything on those characters. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned her, but there's a person, a tenant in the same building named Sophie. You meet her once, and then every time after that, she's just a delusion. And except for the very last time he meets her, where he kills her. You don't really see it, but you're kind of led to believe it. Yeah. So characterization, you did an amazing job characterizing one person, and everyone else, it was just shit. Like this was pretty much a one-person show. And don't get me wrong, Joker probably in any movie would be a one-man show. But you don't have an antagonist. You don't have a protagonist even in this one. So you just kind of muddle around when it comes to characters. The story, I kind of covered that one already. It's a lot of just on Joker. It's just beating Joker down again and again and again in Gotham, which, hey, Gotham's a shit city. Who knew? Like, it's just constantly pisses me off that Gotham's this shit city, and yet only one guy goes insane and shoots some people that are just constantly harassing people. Like, evidently, all you need to do to be beaten the crap out of is be a little different. So most people in that city should be getting the crap beaten out of them. And then there's this stupid side plot that like gets brought up a bunch as, oh, you know, the trash services aren't happening. Nobody's picking up their trash anymore. And it goes fucking nowhere. You hear about it in the beginning. You hear about it in the middle. There's a joke made about it by one person at one point in time. And that's it. That's it. It never gets resolved. It never has anything to do with anything. Because some people are like, oh, it's why Thomas Wayne is running for mayor is because of this. And you're like, no. The reason Thomas Wayne ends up running for mayor is because the depravity that city's starting to go through. Is Thomas Wayne a good person? Is Thomas Wayne a bad person? This movie makes him into a fucking asshole. And again, there's no plot that gets resolved on that. I mean, there is a plot that gets resolved on that, but not as far as him being an asshole to the person that, you know, this movie is about. I think that if Hollywood wants to make artsy movies, that's totally cool. It's totally fine. That's why we have the Sundance Film Festival. That's why we have all the film festivals that we have. When you start stepping into comic book people territory, though, that's when you're being stupid. That's when you're taking something that wasn't meant to be an artsy film and turning it into something it's not supposed to be. You're taking the likeness of something that doesn't need to be there. And do you know why this movie was made? Why this movie has the Joker's name on it? I know why. I know fucking why. It's because somebody in Hollywood went, hey, so there's this popular tragic character who's not really tragic, but we can take him, put his name on this film, and make money. You know, I think it's not a terrible idea when Hollywood kind of uses likenesses to boost their sales. I understand that they want to make money. But when you start delving into the opposite of what a movie is supposed to be, the opposite of what a superhero movie is supposed to be, that's when you're bothering me about it. That's when you take this movie that, on its own, not Joker. Story about a guy who goes crazy and shoots people. You know how many people are going to see it? Almost nobody, because that's the fucking state our country is in right now. And you know what? I'm sorry to be political about that, but these things happen, and it's unfortunate. But when you just stamp a character's name on it that you go, hey, he could actually fit that profile, so let's turn somebody into the Joker to make them, like, in the eyes of an audience, be okay with fucking murdering people, that's when you fucked up. This movie is okay. This movie is okay. This movie is not a Joker movie. This movie is a depiction of someone going through psychological issues who goes off the deep end. That's fine. Stamp Joker's name on there, and you fucked up. 2 out of 10. Feel free to comment below. I'm sure some people are going to get pissed off about what I said, but I don't give a fuck right now. So, I hope if you do see it, you enjoy it. I know that plenty of people do, but I'm just talking to myself about this. It has pissed me off so much because of what it is. It isn't a Joker movie. It is a movie that Hollywood is going, hey, we can take characters and do whatever the fuck we want with them, and people are going to pay to see the movie. And you know what? This movie has gotten some people to watch it because of that. And I'm one of those people. I understand that. If this was just regular man goes on a shooting spree, probably wouldn't have gone seen it. But I went and saw it. And the only reason I'm giving it a 2 out of 10 and not something lower is because I save 1 and 0 for movies that just flat out shouldn't exist. This movie, with the Joker's name attached to it, has a purpose in existing. It still follows some things. It still does some things right. I just hate the premise now. I didn't really hate it this much before. I'm talking myself lower and lower and lower in my brain. But this movie is just, it is 2 hours of your life wasted to see what somebody wanted to take as a superhero movie, supervillain movie, you guys know what I mean, and turn it into an artsy film. Comic books are art. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, in its own way, is art. Even the DCEU, in a very tragic way sometimes, is art. These movies already exist to put the characters in a way that we will find them pleasing, enjoyable. And anyone that comes out of this movie saying, I love the Joker more than ever, you should probably not, what's a safe way to word that? Anyone coming in this movie saying that you like the Joker better because of this should really evaluate what you see in a character. I'm sorry that it's getting dark in here. We went to a later showing. But thank you for listening to my rant, guys. If you guys have any of your thoughts, I've probably already said this, but if you have any of your thoughts, feel free to comment below. And if you see this movie, I genuinely hope that you find something that you like out of it. I hope it's not that you find the Joker more tragic than ever and now you really like him, because that's not the purpose of the Joker. At least not in my eyes. So, thank you guys for listening. Sorry if I went off the deep end there a little bit, but this movie really got to me, which could have been its intended expectations. So, you guys stay sexy.